on day 10 of the Christmas in July, and we are starting out with today's file on, I'm just going to run and do all of them all at once, but this is the annual supporters file. Now, there are a couple of options that you can do in this file. You can cut your card this way, or you can contour and hide all the contours here if you want to do that, and then skip the acetate and then just place this piece on your file. Okay, so that's one option that you have, or you can do it the way that I'm doing it here, or you can cut, instead of acetate, you can cut maybe a solid panel, whatever you want to do. If you do a solid panel, you're going to have more area to write, but you still have room to sign it down here and things like that. And I am going to be using the acetate in mine. Now, there's a plastic coating on the acetate, as you know, and you need to peel that off, but mine is cutting correctly, and it kissed cut, and all I had to do was peel it off, and it left the plastic behind. Just that protective coating. I've got little pieces of paper everywhere from weeding this. So you're just going to fold that card in half. These are edge cards. And then we have our sentiment here. We'll go ahead, so we don't lose that piece, we'll go ahead and glue that down. A little bit of glue. And we'll place that right on there, giving it just a teeny tiny border. I've got some fibers right there, and they will show up against that white. I'm just flipping them off. Got them. I think I got them. There we go. So this is the tricky part. Now you can use a glue sponge, whatever, and you can just drip glue on and do it this way. You can use a makeup sponge and put some glue down and pat this and dab it. I'm not sure which way. That's the way this one goes. So I am going to, well, have I got it right? Nope, the big one goes at the top and the small one down at the bottom. Oh, or have I got that backwards? Small one at the top, big one at the, okay, small, large, medium. That's your front, so I'm going to flip this over, and I'm just going to start adding some glue to the tips. I'm going to speed through this so you don't have to watch me do this. And then you're just going to stick it on the front. And then you're going to open your card up, and you're just going to gently guide this into place. And it's easier if you pay attention to the centers of your flowers and then work from there, laying it out. And actually, I'm probably going to snip these pieces off. I really don't like them in there, but I'm just going to go with it on this one. Sometimes an image can be too detailed. There we go. But I don't mind the white sticking through a little bit because we have it on the edge as well. Okay, so you're going to do that, then you're going to open it up. It looks like I got some of that red paper stuck with some glue. I have red fibers everywhere. Oh, it might be ink. This might not have been dry when I folded it. I mean, I just pulled it right off and went with it. And now we're going to make sure I got this going the right way. There we go. We're going to glue that down, and I'm just going to glue this around the edges since it's acetate, and I'm just gonna go right in here. I missed a weeding spot. Oh well, I'm just gonna leave it. Make sure you get all of your pieces weeded. I missed one. Bring that in. We're gonna place it right on the top. Now, if you want, you can add the other one. I put a second one in there, which I meant to hide and not cut. I was not gonna cut this for mine. But if you want to place it on the inside, you can. So I just had an extra. All right, so then that is the front of the card. How pretty is that? Nice little edge card. Super simple and quick. I'm going to find my Pop Dots. And we are going to place some of those on the back of this piece. I just want it to sit up slightly. Right here. And you can change this sentiment. You can change the shape of it. I'm just gonna pop it right down. And then I'm going to add, these are some vintage drops from Nuvo. Trying to find the color. And they are matte. They are just like the other, but they're matte. Here it is. Postcard red. So I'm going to go in and maybe, let's see. I think I want to do like a curved. A big dot. And a medium. I don't want it to be pointy. It'll level out here in just a minute. And then I might do a large one here. Then a medium. And then a smaller here. How pretty is that? And you could also maybe do some up here on the corners if you wanted to. Maybe do just 3. Hopefully those will level out. And they're a little thick. Just gonna tap my card to get them to drop down. There we go. I'll fix them in a minute. And then I'm gonna do some gold in the center. And I'm using on that, I think this is old gold or something like that. Pale gold. And that's why I said I meant to hide these in the center, because I was just going to do several little dots so that they wouldn't be showing anyway. So now I'm kind of having to go against their guide on there. And because I didn't want the drops to show through the acetate on the other side. And that's why I meant to hide them. And then I could do my own dotting, because I really like just a big dot on these little ones. So go with it. Gonna go with it even if it shows through on the other side. There we go. So, and I put my finger in one. I'm gonna end up doing a bigger dot there than I wanted. Let's see if I can get my... You don't want to do that for sure. Don't put your finger in them while you're working on your card. So there's more than one way to skin the cat. Here we go. Actually, this is what I'm gonna do. I am going to cut it. I'm gonna cut that flower from that extra one I did. Can always fix your boo-boos. This was not intended, but I'm gonna fix it. Like so. Bring it right off to the edge, and if it hangs off the edge, then I can come back and trim it off the edge. Do a little bit of gold there. And then I'll just kind of thicken that line on that poinsettia with my drops. There we go. Fixed a boo-boo. So, still pretty. Not what I intended, but it's still pretty. So I'm just gonna set this to the side to dry so I don't get in my Nuvo drops again. And we're gonna go straight to card number 2. And this is the monthly supporter file. And this is the Joy card. And you're just gonna fold it in half. And then we have, and you can do a shadow layer on these if you want, but I just wanted them to pop against the background of the white. So I'm gonna place my J in there. Make sure it's straight. And then I'm gonna do my Y. I think I just did that backwards. Did I? Yep. I have to look at my file because I don't know. I think it goes this way. I think it goes this way. I'm gonna double check. Yep, I was right. Okay. So we're just gonna glue that Y down right in there. And then we have this wreath, and it will line up onto the cut edge. So you'll need to make sure that you're getting it lined up with your bow to the left. Got a little piece stuck in there. I'm not doing very good at weeding my cardstock today. There we go. And I did put in the file 2 extra in case you wanted to pop this up. Then you could do that as well. But I am going to be popping mine up. I'm just basically stacking, and then I'm going to be adding some, just for dimension, and then I am going to be adding some liquid glass to this piece and glue to my mat. I have the droppies today. Don't want to get glue all over everything. And we're just going to line this one right up on top of that one. And that's going to give it a little bit thicker dimension. And now in the file, you're going to find a red strip here, and that's just to implicate ribbon. If you don't have ribbon, use the red strip. But I am thinking of using some of the glitter tape from Close to My Heart. And that's what I wanted to use on mine. So I'm just going to peel back the liner and bring it right actually, I need to make sure that I'm going down the middle of that piece. So figure out where I want it. I'm just going to let it hang off the end a little bit and bring that straight down and stick that. And then all I'm doing is I just trim the film off the back of that, so I had some that I could use later. And I'm just going to open it up, and where I have it hanging off the end, just going to snip that off. There we go. That way we know it's the right length. And again, I got 2 of these so you could pop them up, but I am going to be using the liquid glass on them or a glaze. Use what you have. You can use the Nuvo drops. And I'm just going to glue this one down. Right to the top of that one, just giving me some thickness. If you used a thicker cardstock, you may not need to, or you may want to just pop dot them up and not use any liquid glass. And I am going to place that one there, and I am going to place it on dots popped up. Hopefully I can do this. Usually you want to do your liquid glass on these first, and I think that I am, because that's really all there is to this card. I lost my liner on that one. I am going to put my liquid glass on here and let it dry, and then I'm going to apply it right here. That's it. That's all there is to this one. I'll let you see how I apply that. Now, if you want it to be totally smooth, you are not going to need a brush. But if you want it to have a little bit of texture to it, you can play around and push it around with the brush and get some texture. And I'm just going to put in where I say I am. If you order liquid glass, do not trim the tip off. I did that and it messed mine up. So I have to go through this almost every time I use it, of making sure it's not clogged. There we go. And I'm just squirting a good amount on there. And it does self-level somewhat. I'm just gonna go around. These. Just let it kind of flow. And it's gonna dry clear. So now I'm just gonna take, I've got a good amount on there, and I'm going to take this brush and just pop any air bubbles I may have gotten and push that from the center around out to the edges. Now, if you just, I wanted a good amount of dimension on there, and that's why I'm using this much. And I'm going to show you another way to apply it as well, where you don't have to get this thick. This point. And some of it, if you get too much, it will run off the side. I've had that happen, and it's okay. It's not gonna hurt anything. You can peel it right off your plastic piece like this and trim off any that's hanging on, just like I have some going through that hole right there. It'll be all right, because it can act as a glue as well. So I'm just gonna stick that off to the side and let that dry. That's gonna take a couple of hours because I have it so thick. Okay, but I want just a little bit on just the ribbon and the leaves of this. So I'm just going to put down just a little tiny bit, and I'm going to paint it on with this very small brush, just to give it a little bit of shine, and you may want a little more. You can add it as you go. And I'm just putting a tiny bit just on the ribbon, the berries, and the holly leaves. And this is not going to have as much dimension, but it is going to add that shine. And this will dry pretty quick in about, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes. When you do it this way, it doesn't take long at all. You get just as much shine, you just don't get that dimensional, that puffy look that you get with when you put it on thick. So super easy, super simple. Hopefully you can see it shining there. And then you'll of course want to wash your brush as quickly as possible. I'm just going to use a baby wipe since I'm not near a sink. And we're going to let that dry, and then I'm going to use the same vintage and do a few just teeny tiny drops. I mean, I'm barely just touching it. Just to give it a little bit of color there. Now, I did leave that there are some berries in the file. They're hidden, so if you want to do those, you can cut those. They're teeny tiny little bitty circles, so I don't know if you'll want to get into all of that with it. Nuvo drops are much easier, or some rhinestones, something like that, much easier and quicker. I also left in the file one of the wreaths and the holly leaf bow unflattened, so if you prefer to cut those rather than print and cut. So that completes that card. Again, you're just going to place your decorative element here once it dries. And that is our monthly file. Now we're going to do our freebie file. And this one's going to be fun. So you have two of these red ones. You have a short one and a long one. And the long one you're going to need first. And I am actually, because it's dark red and it's going to go on the inside and it takes red longer to dry, you get that dark look. I am going to place it in the card, just like so. Okay, you're going to have a little bit of an edge on the back. That's where they lift it. And we are just going to put tape runner right on the top here. We're going to line it up inside, side to side, make sure it's good and lined up all the way up to the score, and we're going to close the card. And don't move it like I just did. Get it in there even. I moved mine right when I went to stick it. That's better. So you've got that stuck down. Now you're going to take this red piece and we're going to come up to the top here. Okay? We'll just start with these two. We're going to line these two up, top, top. Just get them lined up. Just like so. And then that goes right to the top of the front. So we're just, oops, upside down. Put our tape runner on this one. And we're going to go all the way to the top of the card. Easy, easy, easy. And now we're going to put our bell together. And we're going to start with this base panel. And I am just going to go ahead and put my tape runner. Now this is the holographic foil paper from Michaels. And I'm just going to place it right in the center. Press that down. Remember, foils don't like wet glue, so you want to be careful with those. And then we're going to start with this white layer. And I know I'm getting glue on my mat, but I will get that off after the video with my gummy eraser. We're just going to layer that one right on there, okay? And if you get any glue on the insides here, don't worry about it. Your glue eraser will go in and take that out here in just a second. Okay, a little piece of red felt or something, or the red fibers from these here. Then you're going to take, oops, I put the wrong layer down. Shoot. I bet I can't get that off. This layer goes before. I'm just going to leave it because that's silver behind it. I don't really need it. I'm just going to live with it. And then I'm going to do this top layer right here. This layer goes on, then your white layer. I just wanted the thickness. That's the only reason my white layer is in there. And now I am going to use a little bit of glue on this, not much, up here around where the bow is. It's going to get covered anyway, so if it bubbles, I'll be okay. And I'm going to use some tape runner on the base. Clean out those glues before I put it down. And then we're just going to line that right up on the top. Just like that. And then we're going to put the bow. And I think I want to use tape runner on that as well. Just because I don't want it to turn dark where the glue is at on there. And then I'm just, you can run a pen, whatever you need to get your tape runner out of the holes. That way you don't have to clean it up like I did that other one. Should have done that first. And then we're going to place that bow right down on the top. Simple, easy, pretty. Kind of like it better without that layer. I get more of that holographic look. So got that done. And then I am going to add some liquid glass. Right here where the bell is supposed to be shiny, that's where that white layer comes in at. And I'm going to fill that in with the liquid glass and let that dry. And you could fill it in around your bow and everything else too. So there completes the 3 cards for day 10 of the Christmas in July. And we have done edge cards. And I will catch you tomorrow for day 11. Guys, you don't want to miss day 11 and 12. The grand finales are coming up. So I'll catch you tomorrow. Actually, no, I won't. Tomorrow is my Zoom day. We're going to be Zooming and doing some cards. If you want to become a Zoomer, you can do that on Patreon or Ko-fi. There's a link tree down below that has those links. Day 11 will come out on July 24th. I am going to be taking the 25th off to take a little bit of a break from all of these files. And I will be live on the 26th with our grand finale file and assembly. The other 2 will be recorded, and we will catch you on the 26th live. Catch you then. Give a thumbs up, a like, and share.